Connecting with others isn't just about exchanging words or sharing a space. It's about truly engaging on a deep, emotional level. To achieve this, we need to begin with understanding ourselves. This journey starts with self-awareness, the cornerstone of all personal and interpersonal growth. Self-awareness is essentially our ability to understand our own emotions, desires, and motivations. It impacts how we see ourselves and how others perceive us. When you understand your own emotional landscape, you can navigate not only your own feelings but also tune into the emotions of others. This is crucial in making meaningful connections. However, understanding ourselves isn't always straightforward. It requires us to look inward with honesty and courage. Often, we're confronted with parts of ourselves that we might not be comfortable with. But acknowledging and accepting these parts is the first step in genuine self-awareness. Have you ever considered what parts of your emotions you might be ignoring or suppressing? This question isn't just rhetorical. It invites you to explore the depths of your inner self. The practice of mindfulness can greatly enhance our self-awareness. Mindfulness involves observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. As you practice mindfulness, you begin to notice patterns in your thoughts and emotions. You learn to recognize what triggers negative emotions and what brings you peace and happiness. This awareness is powerful. It's the tool we use to foster deeper connections with others. Imagine you're in a conversation that isn't going well. If you're mindful, you can observe your emotions rising, recognize why they're happening, and choose not to react impulsively. This space between stimulus and response is where true connection happens. You respond thoughtfully, considering the other person's emotions, leading to a more meaningful interaction. Now, let's talk about empathy, which is directly linked to self-awareness. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Developing empathy requires an open mind and heart. It involves listening not just to respond but to truly understand. When was the last time you listened to someone without forming a response in your mind while they were speaking? Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. To develop empathy, try to really listen to others, paying attention to their body language, their tone of voice, and their choice of words. Reflect on how they might be feeling. This doesn't mean you should assume or project your feelings onto them, but rather open yourself up to understand their emotional state. Empathetic listening is a powerful skill. It builds trust and respect. People are more likely to open up when they feel understood. This doesn't mean you always have to agree with the other person, but by showing genuine interest and attempting to understand their perspective, you create a bridge of connection. In essence, self-awareness and empathy are deeply interconnected. One feeds into the other. As you become more aware of your own emotions, you become better equipped to understand the emotions of others. This mutual understanding is the foundation of all human connection. Let's pause here for a moment. Reflect on how you can improve your self-awareness. What are some steps you can take today to be more mindful of your own emotional state? How might this new awareness change the way you interact with others? The strength and vulnerability. Unlocking the gates to authentic connection. Once we establish a foundation of self-awareness and empathy, the next step in forming truly profound connections is embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as a weakness, but in reality, it is a significant strength. It involves opening up to others about our fears, desires, and mistakes. It's about showing our true selves, not just the polished versions we often present to the world. Why is vulnerability so important in connecting with others? When you share your vulnerabilities, you signal to others that it's safe for them to do the same. This creates a space of mutual trust and respect where authentic relationships can flourish. However, being vulnerable is not about oversharing or using personal revelations as a way to garner sympathy. It's about honest expression in the context of building deeper connections. Think about a time when someone shared something personal with you. How did it make you feel? Most likely, it brought you closer to that person because they trusted you enough to share their inner world. Now, consider how you can apply this in your own interactions. It starts with small steps, sharing your feelings about a movie or a book, or expressing a personal challenge you're facing. Another aspect of vulnerability is the willingness to admit mistakes and weaknesses. In a world that often values perfection, admitting mistakes can be daunting. Yet, it is incredibly powerful. It shows that you are human and, like everyone else, you are flawed. This can be particularly impactful in leadership roles, where the illusion of perfection can create distance. Leaders who admit their mistakes and are open about their learning processes are viewed as more approachable and trustworthy. How do you respond when you make a mistake? Do you try to cover it up, or do you own it and use it as a learning opportunity? Reflect on how changing your approach to mistakes could impact your relationships. Moving from vulnerability to authenticity, it's vital to understand that being authentic means being true to your values and beliefs. It means acting in ways that are consistent with your inner self, not just conforming to what you think others expect of you. Authenticity requires courage and self-knowledge. It involves making choices that align with your true self, even when they are not popular or easy. Authenticity strengthens connections because it builds trust. When people know that you are genuine, they feel they can trust you not to manipulate them or present a false front. This trust is the bedrock of all strong relationships. Can you identify areas in your life where you might not be living authentically? What holds you back, and what steps can you take to align more closely with your true self? Lastly, the intersection of vulnerability and authenticity leads to integrity. Integrity means being consistent in your values, actions, and words. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, and even when it's not in your immediate benefit. Integrity invites a profound respect from others, which is essential for lasting connections. To integrate these concepts into your life, start by identifying your core values. What truly matters to you? How do these values guide your actions? Then, look for opportunities to share more of your true self with others. This might mean expressing your feelings more openly, admitting your uncertainties, or standing up for what you believe in, even when it's difficult. Reflect on the relationships in your life where you feel most connected. Are these the relationships where you can be your most authentic self? How does this authenticity impact your connection? The harmony of words, mastering communication and active listening. Communication is more than just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotion and intentions behind the information. Effective communication requires us to not only speak, but also to listen actively and respond appropriately. This ability is crucial in creating and maintaining meaningful connections in any situation. To begin with, let's consider the importance of clarity in communication. Being clear and concise helps prevent misunderstandings and confusion, which are common barriers to connection. It's important to think about how your words can be interpreted and to strive to express yourself as clearly as possible. This doesn't mean oversimplifying your thoughts, but rather organizing them in a way that your listener can understand. However, clarity alone isn't enough. The tone of voice and body language also play critical roles in how your messages are received. Nonverbal cues can often tell more than words themselves. For instance, a friendly tone and open posture can make your communication more inviting and can help put the other person at ease. Have you ever noticed how a simple change in your tone or posture changed the direction of a conversation? Active listening is another essential component of effective communication. It involves fully concentrating on what is being said rather than just passively hearing the speaker's words. This means listening with all senses and giving the speaker your undivided attention. It's about engaging with their words, asking clarifying questions, and reflecting back what you've heard to ensure understanding. Active listening also means being mindful of the speaker's emotions and responding with empathy. This can help in de-escalating conflicts and deepening understanding in all types of relationships. When people feel genuinely listened to, they are more likely to open up and share more of their thoughts and feelings. Can you think of a time when you felt truly listened to? How did that make you feel about the person listening? To practice active listening, next time you're in a conversation, try to focus completely on the other person. Avoid planning your next comment while they are speaking. Instead, respond based on what they have just said. This not only shows that you value their words, but it also enhances your ability to connect with them on a deeper level. Moreover, communication is not just about speaking and listening. It's also about understanding the context of the interaction. Context includes the background, environment, and preceding events that influence how messages are sent and received. Being aware of the context can help you choose the most appropriate and effective ways to convey your message and respond to others. Finally, effective communication involves feedback. Feedback, whether it's positive or constructive, can be a powerful tool for personal and relational growth. It's about giving and receiving information about how a particular action or behavior is perceived. This loop of feedback is essential for ongoing improvement in how we connect with others. Reflect on the last meaningful conversation you had. What elements of effective communication were present? Were there areas where the communication could have been improved? Beyond words, cultivating spiritual connections in a material world. In the journey of deepening our connections with others, we eventually reach a realm that transcends the physical and enters the spiritual. This aspect of connection touches on the profound sense of unity and oneness that can exist between individuals, going beyond mere conversation and shared experiences to a deeper, more intrinsic level of understanding and being. Spiritual connections are characterized by a profound sense of empathy, compassion, and unconditional love. These connections often feel as if they tap into something larger than ourselves, whether one identifies this as the universe, nature, a divine presence, or simply the shared human spirit. Such connections are transformative, fostering not only personal growth, but also a greater understanding of the world and our place within it. To cultivate these types of connections, we must first be open to the idea that every person we meet carries a universe within them, rich with unique experiences, thoughts, and emotions. Recognizing this complexity and embracing it with genuine curiosity and respect is the first step towards spiritual connection. Have you ever felt a moment of unexpected understanding with someone, as if a deeper part of yourself recognized them beyond the surface level? Mindfulness and presence are key practices in nurturing these connections. Being fully present with another person, without distractions, without waiting for your turn to speak, but truly being with them, can open up channels of communication that go beyond words. It's in these moments that the essence of spiritual connection begins to flourish, where you connect not just with the person before you, but with the essence of humanity itself. Further, embracing the concept of interconnectedness plays a vital role. This idea, central to many spiritual traditions, suggests that all life is interconnected through an unseen web. By living with an awareness of this interconnectedness, we approach our relationships with more compassion and empathy, recognizing that our actions affect not only ourselves, but also the greater whole. Practicing gratitude is another powerful pathway to spiritual connections. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating the roles others play in our lives, we foster a sense of communal support and belonging. This gratitude, when shared, builds bridges between individuals, reinforcing the spiritual bonds that underlie our everyday interactions. Moreover, engaging in shared experiences that touch on these deeper aspects can be incredibly powerful. Whether it's through music, art, nature, or ceremony, these activities can help strip away the superficial layers of our personas, revealing the raw, beautiful essence beneath. Have you ever shared a moment with someone that felt like it touched something timeless and profound? Lastly, in building spiritual connections, we must also learn to let go of egoistic desires and fears. This involves moving beyond a self-centered perspective to embrace a more holistic view, where the welfare and growth of others are as important as our own. This shift is not easy, but it is essential for those seeking to establish meaningful spiritual connections. Reflect on the relationships in your life where you feel a deeper, almost inexplicable bond. What makes these relationships different? How do they enhance your understanding of yourself and the world? As we conclude our exploration of the deeper dimensions of connection, remember that each step towards self-awareness, empathy, vulnerability, authenticity, effective communication, and spiritual unity is a step towards a richer, more fulfilling life. Are you ready to embrace these concepts and transform how you connect with the world around you?